a little bit. We got a little bit of an update on your favorite ex-president, Donald J. Trump. Okay? We're trying to keep you up to speed on all of his legal drama, this whole legal saga that's been going on. And where we left off last time, Trump was ordered to pay $450 million in his New York City fraud case by March 25th in order for his appeal to officially go through. He had to put that money down, okay? We talked about that. And so March 25th came and went, and prior to that, Trump's lawyers had filed a motion to cut the payment, arguing that it was impossible for him to get that money, impossible, and that he had tried to go to 30 different bond companies, and they all rejected him. Okay? 30 different bond companies. Yet he was on the internet talking about, I've got $1 million billion. I can pay it out of my pocket. It's easy. But his lawyers on the flip side were arguing that this was going to be impossible for him to pay this, and that he was denied by 30 different bond companies. So March 25th comes and we're all waiting to see, is he gonna get the money? And guess what happened, y'all? An appeals court reduced the bond for him to $175 million. So from 454 down to $175 million. And not only did they reduce the bond, but they gave him an extra 10 days to pay it up. Okay? An extra 10 days. And they gave absolutely no reason as to why they made this decision. They're not required to. It's a civil case. It's not a criminal case. So, it's a little bit more lax in terms of requirements. But they didn't even explain why. And now we're still in this 10 days waiting to see if he can scrape together $175 million. For those who have been following, he just went public with Truth Social. His social media platform just went public. And now, because of that, he's suddenly worth an estimated, I think, like $8 billion or something. However, y'all, it's not as clear cut. It's not as straightforward as that. Maybe we'll get into a little detail about that a little bit later. But I just have to say, when I saw that they had reduced that bond, the first thing I thought was, must be nice to be a white man, especially a rich white man. I mean, if this was a black man, if this was even a half black man, President Obama, if this was Obama, in this case, he would have already been under the jail. Okay? But yet, this guy was able to garner sympathy and have his bond reduced by more than 50%. And they gave him an extra 10 days to pay, despite the fact that this guy should have had all this worked out in the previous 30 days that he had received. No black and brown people in America would ever get this kind of treatment. And it's just so effed up. And no poor people in America would ever get this kind of treatment. And it's just so effed up how imbalanced the, quote, justice system is, and how, if you have enough money, if you're in the right demographics, then you're going to get treated a lot better, and you're going to be able to get these little favors. Meanwhile, you have poor people and black and brown people being thrown in jail for freaking parking tickets. Unpaid parking tickets, getting bench warrants against them. But this guy who defrauded the state of New York by almost $1 billion over a 30, 40-year period got a pat on the shoulder, got a slap on the wrist, and now he has 10 days to come up with this $175 million bond. It's just so shady, and it's just really speaks to the inequity and inequitability of the justice system, and how it really is about who you know, how much money you have, and who you are. And are in terms of, what boxes you check on the census. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Okay?